Hi. um, today I posted on my second Instagram account, basically a whole story telling about my breakup and like how it all went down and the months afterwards. Because I posted that we broke up on my second Instagram account, since it happened while I was in England, and I started using that account to give updates about me being in England, because I'm bad at texting people and updating people. So I just decided to use that. So it was a lot easier for me to like give updates to my friends. And I basically it boiled down to me posting weekly. And then actually when I came home, people asked me like, "What are you gonna do with the account now? Like, are you gonna keep posting?" Because like I really liked seeing your like weekly update. Like so many people told me that they found it so nice to like see and like kind of like be catched up on me. Um, and then I was like, yeah, I do really like posting the things. So now still every single week I post it. Um, but I made a post 2 days after we broke up. Um, Pictures with snow, because like a day or something after we broke up, it started snowing. So then I was like, okay, it's snowing. I made the right decision. It's gonna be good. I'll be all right. And yeah, I basically posted that we broke up, that I didn't really want to talk about it, and it was sad. But like we broke up on good terms, nobody's at fault. But like, because it was still happening all in the moment, like I didn't want to talk about it, and also like especially at that moment, I thought the breakup was mostly his fault and like his mental health and stuff, and I was like, I don't want to blame it all on him. I don't want to change people's perspective about him or anything. I don't want to. Yeah, I just didn't really want to talk about it. It felt very vulnerable, and I just didn't really know how to approach it. Um, and then when I came back here, a couple of people I told in real life like bits about it, but never fully in the full story. It's a little bit hard to do, and also like I came back, and then all of these emotions came over me, and I was like, oh my god. Um, but then yeah, like over the last couple of months, like sometimes I was like, okay, maybe this is time for me to post it. But then either there was in a moment where I felt a lot of emotions, so whether it was angry or like sadness or something. And now on Thursday, currently it's Friday, so it was yesterday actually. Um, well, it's the middle of the night, so I'm gonna post this on Saturday because it's the middle of the night. Um, also, I'm really tired, but yeah, yesterday I talked to his new girlfriend actually, because as I said in the last video, she really wanted to talk, and that basically boiled down to her stalking me on more places than I actually thought she did. And I was like, damn, like she found my letterbox and my Minecraft skins. And I was like, damn, girl, found your letterbox, but that's because the links are in your Instagram bio. And yeah, I can see that. So I told her that you can see that. And she was like, damn, you can see that. I was like, yeah, you can see that. But yeah, then I also admitted, like, yeah, I'll stalk you. But she's felt guilty because I've been going through it, and I didn't tell her. I wasn't mean about it. I was like, yeah, well, it's not really your responsibility and stuff. And like, I'll be all right. Um, I didn't really let that much about my emotions because also, yet again, she's no girlfriend. Like, I don't want to. That's not the place to talk about that. Um, but also, like, of course, girl. Of course, I'm gonna crash the fuck out. Anyways, but yeah, we now follow each other on Instagram. We're like kind of friends. Um, and yeah, like yesterday I went clubbing with my two besties, bestie high school, bestie tree, and we went to a masquerade party. And me and him actually met at a masquerade party. Um, and just like all of these moments are ending on such like it all always feels so full circle whenever I feel like it's kind of like coming to an end. So today, slightly tired, like very tired actually, slightly hungover. I wrote down the whole story about the breakup, and then I posted on Instagram. I needed to use 3 posts because I talked so much, and obviously it's been like 10 months. And I picked pictures that were significant. Like the first post, I picked pictures, um, significant moments in our relationship. So that actually started like on Valentine's Day, the gift that he gave to me. And then it ended with lyrics that I screenshotted on the day that we broke up. Which, like, all of those moments are only like key, obviously, to me and not to anybody else. But it's my Instagram, so that's the point. And that's also like that post, it ended in us breaking up. And then the 2 posts after that were like pictures picked, also significant moments, but in the months after that. And that was like talking about the months after that. It's a very long story, basically boiling down to I want to read that story out loud. Because 2 people actually DM'd me saying that it was really, really touching. And like one of my classmates, one of my friends, she actually DM'd me almost immediately being like, hey, this was so touching. Like, I'm almost crying. At like my internship, I felt like I lived it with you. And it's absurd to me that it's, I don't know, that it's so touching to people. And also actually one of like the English guy that I hooked up with, he also DM'd me being like, hey, I just saw your post, like I'm so happy for you that like you're healing and like you're open to like you're opening up, and also that like your writing is like really good and like you should do something with that. So it's given me so much confidence. I should like pick up writing again, because like that's, I don't know, it's absurd to me. So I'm really happy with actually what I wrote, even though I cannot really share it with a lot of people, because obviously like my ex follows my main Instagram account, and also like I don't know, but I am actually really proud about how I've written it and stuff, and it's really true to my heart. And I obviously I wrote a little bit poetic. I'm a poet. So yeah, this is my Instagram post that I posted today. And now I need to actually read it out loud, which is a little bit scary. I'm a little bit bad at it, but I'm hoping to do it justice. Thank you. I've rewritten this about 1,000,000 times, but after 6 months, another masquerade party, a really big crash out, and a conversation with his new girlfriend, I am ready to talk about how it ended. I could talk about how nice it was when we were together. There were truly barely any faults, but I want to move on and leave all of that behind, so instead I will be talking about my dog dying in August. I take a long time to process any feelings and emotions, so when my mom called to let me know that they put our dog of almost 14 years old to sleep, I didn't know what to do with myself or how to talk about it. He was my only emotional support in my family, so the grief got deep. When she called, it was 2 days before his 14th birthday, and half an hour before I would leave to go on vacation with some of my friends. He was there to hold me though, but I bottled my grief away with distractions, and the vacation was a great way of doing that. But those who know you so well will see right through you, and I couldn't allow it to let anybody worry about me, so I subconsciously started pushing him away. It went better in the 1 month between my vacation and me going to England, but then I was in England. We said goodbye on the train platform. I didn't want him to waste his money by bringing me to Schiphol. I didn't want him to waste his money by visiting me in England at some point. He had been dealing with anxiety for almost a year at that point, so I wanted him to save his money to go to therapy. Overwhelmed, lost, and lonely in England, I subconsciously pushed him away again, not realizing I didn't want him to worry about me. How can you explain to someone that maybe this experience isn't what you thought it was, after he spent several months worrying that you would find another there and break up with him instead of being excited for you? Between only being able to call for once a week and feeling so disconnected, I spiraled down thinking I didn't love him anymore or something. I mean, why else would I push him away, right? He had said before that he never breaks up with someone, so I knew he would stay even if I treated him badly, which he didn't deserve. At my Lizzie McAlpine concert, she sang the song Staying with the line Hold Me until someone sends me a sign. Later that concert, she sang Over the Ocean Call as a surprise song, which is breaking up over a phone call because you're long distance. Safe to say, that made me spiral down to a conclusion and led me absolutely bawling my eyes out in my hotel room. And at the concert, not gonna lie. Breaking up with him felt like ripping my own heart out. My heart was in physical pain whenever I would think about it. But I was hurting with my behavior. I was scared he would stop being sober after the breakup. I was scared that what would happen to him. Because he said I was the one good thing in his life, that he was desperately clinging onto, maybe suffocating me a little bit in the process. Instead, he was sad for 2 weeks, and I felt happiness again for the first time in a year. My weeks after the breakup in England were honestly not as devastating as before. It was easy to ignore his existence if I only got reminded by the Ben & Jerry's in the frozen aisle or the rare occasion Post Malone would play in a store. Did I still think about him every day? Yes. I haven't had a single day without that yet. I did my classic breakup thing, which is seeking attention from everyone who would give it to me. Apologize for being so messy for those involved. Didn't mean to hurt you too, but you were very kind about it all. We had no contact. He sent me a couple of voice messages the days after, and then that stopped. We both knew that being in contact with an ex just makes things messier, so we didn't. We wanted the best for the other. And so, when I landed back in the Netherlands on February 1st, tired and anxious and awkward, standing in front of his building, with my parents in the car behind me, the first thing I saw of Breda was him, giving me my keys and some of my things back. My apartment was warm and felt like summer, as if I just came home from a supermarket in August. His pictures on the wall, the notes on the little table. It hit me then, the sadness and the longing of it all. His ghost, made out of memories, started to haunt me. If I turned around, he would be in the couch, right? In my bedroom? Turn his keys in the door? I knew coming back from England would be different, but it felt like as if my whole life had changed. The second time I spoke to him, it was 2 weeks later. I had seen him in class. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was in class with people who either didn't know me or only knew me as his girlfriend. This time I gave back his stuff. Some CDs, a shirt that we drew on 2 years ago, and my favorite picture of him that I had printed out to take with me to England. It was awkward, again, of course, but it was nice to see him. Until he said that he was dating his friend, his classmate, my now classmate, a couple of minutes before our class would start. If life had a soundtrack, that moment would be a beat drop. So of course fate decided to put me and him in a group together, after I spent the whole class staring at the ground in confusion and anger while they sat behind me. As I said, I'm really slow at processing emotions, so this led to 2 weeks of crashing out and confusion. I was wondering if he cheated until we talked 2 weeks later, for 2 hours after that shared class. He told me that he was happy now, that it only took him 2 weeks, that they started talking when they went to Vienna, 3 weeks after the breakup. I thought that talk meant I could put it all behind me, but seeing your ex and this new girl at least once or twice a week is like ripping the band-aid off again and again. In March I realized it was my avoidant attachment that led to this breakup, which then made me spiral into guilt. But I couldn't regret the breakup, because he's happier, right? The last few weeks have been going back and forth between every single emotion under the sun. From sadness to guilt to anger to missing him to wanting him back to never speaking to him again. I have been going through it, and now I'm so sick of being sad and thinking about him. Get him out of my head! Last week I talked to him alone again. Purely accidental. We both went to the walk in Tilburg and ended up alone in the train. Besides our usual catching up that we did, which we also do in class now, I asked him how his relationship is going. He said good. It's different. I'm a lot more confident than last year. So I told him that I was going to unfollow him on some social media, that I take a long time to get over anything. Breaking my own heart, again, to move on. Yesterday I talked to his girlfriend. She asked me to talk, because she's been feeling guilty. I told her that my feelings are not her responsibility or her fault. I may have also told her and him that we're very similar, which is true. We're friends now, as far as friends go in this weird, awkward situation. It would be nicer if all three of us were a bit more mean, but we only want the best for each other. Last masquerade party, 2.5 years ago, I met him outside for the first time around 12:30 a.m. Yesterday, I spent 12:30 a.m. dancing with my two best friends, having the time of my life. I am forcefully shutting this chapter. I've written enough pages about it, and yes, I will be angry for a while. Why couldn't he be confident and live his life with me? Did he just replace me with the first girl that's similar to me? How much did he love me if he moved on so fast? But the anger will lessen, and I will keep our relationship in a snow globe of memories. After all, the person I loved doesn't exist anymore, and the person he loved doesn't either. We spun in and out of each other's life at the exact right moment. So I will cherish it, and I will look with more excitement to the future, even if I need to remind myself that a million times. Did I dox myself? Yes. Oh my god. Yeah. So that's it. That's it. Life is strange. Yeah, I'm planning on starting to slay. I wanna start focusing on getting my life more together. Um, starting exercising and stuff, glowing up, but in a mental health kind of way. Um, yeah, like I've been really busy yesterday and today, so I think it will still take me a little bit before I'm like not checking all of our social medias anymore. Um, but yeah, I saw her Instagram and she went to the same places in Hungary where I went to with him for the first time. So, um, and also we're genuinely so similar to the point where like, you know, I'm gonna live my best life, and I'm not sure how far they're gonna make it, because also she wants to move to Sweden, and I know that he wants to get a Dutch passport. Um, but I'll see how long they'll last. Because how can you build your relationship with the ghost of me still haunting? Because, like, that would just drive me on insecurity to know that, you know, you're very similar to your new, partner's ex. Would kill me inside. Like, I would not want to do that. But that's not my problem anymore. So yeah. I'm genuinely excited for the future. Like, I'm gonna make a very beautiful life for myself with my friends, and like I have so many exciting plans. Um, and I'm gonna have so much more time to like just focus on myself and like become healthy and things. And I don't know. Currently, I just have this excitement feeling in my stomach, because that's where I feel my excitement, and also my anxiety in a sense. Um, but I'm just excited for the future, excited for all the plans, and just I don't know. I'm excited to get a bit of myself back, because I remember before we started dating that I was like, like one day I'm gonna be like 28, and like I was picturing myself as this like confident woman in her own apartment, and maybe like, oh yeah, maybe I'll like have my job and everything, and like have my life together. And I slowly feel you know that me coming back, which is really exciting. And yeah, actually, I have the excitement feeling in my stomach also because I survived and I didn't go back to therapy. Like, yeah, okay, I academically absolutely suffered and went through it. But what's a girl gonna do with undiagnosed ADHD and no medication? Um, but I think I also just needed to, have a big crash out in my life and go through it without therapy, just so I know, like, okay, I am strong on my own and I can handle this on my own. Well, obviously with like friends and stuff. But Jesus Christ, anybody would crash the fuck out if you were me. Um, like, yet again, my feelings are not her responsibility, But if you were in the same situation as me, you would also crush the fuck out. You would also do all the things that I did. And honestly, I've been very nice. I could have been so much nicer. I've been only petty once. Well, she did see my playlist when I actually called it his loss for like a week, and then I was like, actually, that's maybe a little bit too petty. Okay, maybe 2 weeks. I'm gonna change it to hot girl music. But yeah. I hope she saw the other playlist and just me being like, yeah. So also I'm gonna get back into K-pop because I don't understand the lyrics. But yeah, she stalked me so much. Okay, girl. And I've been crashing out on my social medias. See, subconsciously, I do not know if I did it on purpose because I kind of knew that she was watching me, or if I actually did it. Like, I think a mix of both, because I knew she was watching me. She was like, yeah, so I did actually kind of like look at your things, and I was like, girl, I already knew because I stalked you, by the way, fun fact. And she was like, I was like, yeah. She was like, yeah, I thought like, your ex, like my boyfriend. And and then he also said that you were probably doing the same. And I was like, yeah, I was. Yeah, I told him that. Well, not like while we were dating. And I was like, yeah, so you're so not subtle, girl. Because I saw that she listened to artists that I would just have put in my playlist. So I'm like, okay, girl. So, girl. And also one time I saw that she saw my Instagram post. Or like story. I was like, yeah, I saw that. And then I really was like, oh my god, you're stalking me. And it was just the one outfit. And she was like, oh yeah, maybe this is just what you usually post. I'm like, yeah, kinda ish. And that was the one outfit that was really petty. And that was solely directed at him. Funny that you saw it, solely directed at him. And then he actually doesn't give a fuck. Well, I guess he knew that I was crushing out. And he didn't give a fuck. So that's very, very embarrassing. Yeah, very embarrassing. Yeah. Excited for the future. Less video diaries. Maybe video diaries about other things, actually. We'll see. Also, actually, the shared class that we had, that was the last Thursday, yesterday, was the last time that we had that. So, that's interesting. Like, I didn't even know it would be the last time. She was like, yeah, so actually the next class that we have scheduled is nothing. And I was like, huh. I thought it would be a lot more dramatic for the last time, but I guess it's good that I didn't know it was the last one. So yeah, I'll see him at school a couple of times more because we still have classes running until mid-June, beginning of June. But then I won't see him anymore until the graduation, and she's also graduating at the same time. So then I also already warned her about like how weird comments my dad can make. I was like, yeah, let's just accept whatever our parents are gonna say and just be like, okay, because it's gonna be awkward. But yeah, I'm excited. Also, I hung out today with my besties, and then yesterday went clubbing. I'm so fucking tired, actually. Anyways,